Pennsylvania's public school employees' retirement system, try saying that 3 times fast, is embroiled in scandal again. And this time the FBI has come to call. But what is PSERS and why should you care?
Pension system.
Remember pensions? If you're under the age of, say, 50, you probably don't. These are retirement plans that used to give employees a guaranteed source of income after they stopped working for a company. Unlike 401ks, these were, at least in theory, less volatile and more reliable. If your employer funded a pension, odds are you slept soundly with the knowledge that you would not be living off Chef Boyardee in your golden years. For most people my age, pensions are about as mythical as Pegasus. They're virtually non-existent in the private sector, although some public, i.e. government, employees still get them. Pennsylvania's largest pension fund is PSERS, which invests and manages some $64 billion that will insure some 500,000 people, most of them current and former school teachers, aren't living in squalor once their working lives are through. Pension funds used to be fairly boring. They invested in some combination of stocks and bonds that ensured stable growth and a source of revenue for decades to come. Starting in the 1980s, however, PSERS invested in increasingly eccentric and risky investments. Meanwhile, the state's politicians expanded benefits, meaning more cost to the taxpayers, while at the same time repeatedly failing to make investments into that system, which of course means more cost to the taxpayers. Picking up on a trend here? Today, the system is straining under roughly $40 billion in unfunded liabilities. Money that all of us will be obligated to pay at some point. PSERS has also paid out higher and higher fees in its quest to beat the market. Unfortunately, those investments haven't done so. The system recently disclosed an annual average rate of return of just 6.38% across the previous 9 years. For comparison, and this is not an apples to apples comparison, had they invested the same amount of money into an index fund that tracks the S&P 500, it would have seen roughly 10% return on its investment.
Investing, you can't control what the markets do, but what you can control is the cost that you pay to get those market returns. And that every dollar that we don't send to Wall Street fees is a dollar that we keep in the pockets of Pennsylvanians and keep working for Pennsylvanians.
Even if you're not a teacher counting on PSERS for your retirement, you will eventually be on the hook for the $40 billion in unfunded liabilities. And you're entitled to know what PSERS is invested in, how it's managing those investments, and whether it's been fully transparent in its operations. So, over the next few weeks, I'm going to walk you through the system and some proposals to try to fix it.